you may need to formally accept it. If you are offered full funding or a full scholarship that covers all your cost of attendance, the school will issue you with an I-20, which is a document required for processing F-1 student visas. If your funding is insufficient, that is, the school did not give you full funding, you must submit financial documents covering at least the deficit before the I-20 document can be issued. The school will let you know what your deficit is. It is important to note that a full tuition scholarship does not equate a full scholarship. With a full tuition scholarship, you will need to provide proof of funds for your living expenses and health insurance. In some instances, you will need to pay an enrollment deposit as well. The enrollment deposit is your commitment to attend the school. Some schools will refund the enrollment deposit if your visa is denied. Now, once you have received your I-20, it is time to process your visa. While I was recording this, a student asked whether they need to sign the I-20 document and send it back to the school. No, you just have to sign it and then use it to process your visa. Now, once you receive your I-20, you can begin processing your visa. Here are the steps to complete before your visa interview. Step 1, you have to complete the DX1C form, which is the visa application form. Step 2, you have to pay the visa fee. This fee is also called the MRV fee. You must pay it before scheduling a visa interview appointment. Step 3, you have to book a visa interview appointment. Step 4, you have to pay the service fee. This fee must be paid before your visa interview appointment. If you don't pay it before your visa interview, your visa will be denied. Now, if you're an undergraduate student, I've already told you a lot about undergraduate admissions and scholarships. You have to ask yourself the kind of scholarship that you're looking for. And I can actually categorize the scholarships into three. One is a full scholarship. A full scholarship means you need to have a good SAT score. Then you can also get a full tuition scholarship, which means all your school fees are going to be covered. You only have to think about your living expenses and then your health insurance. Then we can also talk about other scholarships, which are normally less than 50% of your cost of attendance. With that, you are going to have a huge deficit in terms of part of your tuition and also part of your living expenses. Depending on whether you have the SAT or not, I can suggest certain schools to you. I can suggest schools in the US that offer full scholarships. I can suggest schools in the US that offer full tuition scholarships. And I can also suggest schools in the US that offer normal scholarships. So normal scholarship here means maybe 50% or less than that. And so it's all about, whether you're willing to take the SAT or not. If your family cannot sponsor your studies, then you have to take the SAT if you want to study in the US. If not, don't waste your time. RK is a student I did a mock session with on my YouTube channel. Her visa interview lasted just a minute. In this video, I will explain why her visa interview was very short. She was interviewed by a young white man. So the visa officer requested for her I-20 and passport. So the visa officer asked, "What are you going to do at Ball State University?" RK replied, "I am going to pursue my master's degree in school counseling, and school counseling is a branch in educational psychology that seeks to provide academic support to students and also cater for psychosocial and emotional needs through counseling and therapy." So the visa officer nods and said, "Okay." Here, RK clearly articulated why she wanted to pursue a master's degree in school. Hi guys, welcome to today's mock session. I'm very excited that you are here. Let me know where you're watching this from. And as usual, if you have any question, this is the perfect time for you to ask your question. So I'm supposed to have two people, but then I have only one person, Opeyemi from Nigeria, obviously. And we are going to find out if he's ready to get his visa approved. And I always say that this mock session is a way of me trying to, ensure that the answers are good. So it's not like the final thing. And also, I don't have access to a lot of information, right? I only have access to, well, I only listen to the answers that they have. And also, I only know a few things about, where they are going, their funding and stuff like that. So those are just a few things that I know. So it is possible that I will miss something. If I miss something, please let me know in the chat so that I'll read it out to them. Okay. Like to him actually. So one person. Yeah. I get a lot of people asking about how they can join the mock session. And it's very simple. All you have to do is, one, you just have to be in the Telegram page. And as soon as The information is posted in the page. You just have to send your details. And if we receive 5 people, then those 5 people, one or two of them are going to be selected. So after receiving the 5 people, like 5 names, if we get more names, we are not going to select those people because yeah, that's how it closes, right? So we just kind of wait for 5 people and then we select two out of the five. That's just the way it is. So if you want to be selected, yeah, it is very simple. Yeah, I get a lot of these things, and it's like people don't follow. So it's like they just randomly, want to reach out and then be interviewed, and it doesn't work like that. I only have Sundays for mock sessions. I cannot do it every day. People reach out to you and they think that you are just waiting for them to reach out so that you do mock session with them as if you have nothing to do with your time. But that's not how it works, right? This is a free service that I'm offering, and it's only on Sundays that I can do it because all other days I'm very busy with so many different things, right? So yeah, I'm very excited that you are here, and I hope I'm able to answer all your questions. Please, whatever question you have, leave it. Don't wait, to the end before you ask your questions. Just ask them, right? And we have Opeyemi from Nigeria. Opeyemi, ready? Are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
Okay, that's good. All right. So, why do you want to go to the US?
I want to go to the US to pursue my PhD in construction management at the University of Florida. I've been offered a graduate assistantship by the college of DCP. So the lab where I will be working is a smart IDC lab under my advisor at the University of Florida.
What will you be doing in the lab?
I'll be assisting my advisor and with teaching assistant, research assistants, and other administrative activity that might be assigned to me. And
What kind of research are you going to do in the lab?
based on my discussion with my supervisor or assignment, yes, because I had interview with him and he gave me some kind of potential project I'll be working on, which will be on application of smart control system on construction robotics.
Okay.
Yes.
How do you hear about the school?
Actually, I heard about the school from advertisements they made last year, 2024, around September or October. They made a very wide advertisement regarding the uh, PhD and master's position opening in the College of DCP at the University of Florida. That was how I actually heard about the school. Then from the flyer, I explored the flyer and I noticed they have around 9 to 12 laboratory in the college. Yes. So I explore all the lab and I pick the one that suits my current research area and the research interest, which is the smart IDC, which focus on sustainable and digital construction, which is my own present research area and research focus, which I have also published in both area.
What is your current job?
Yes, I currently work as a lecturer at a polytechnic here in Nigeria, sir.
What do you teach?
I teach project management and digital construction mainly.
How long have you been working in the university?
13 months now. This is the 13th month.
Okay. How many schools do you apply to?
I applied to 6 universities altogether. I applied to Lehigh University, George Washington University, University of Texas at Arlington. Uh, uh, I can't remember, but
So,
I applied to 6. But when I got my offer from Florida and I confirmed, yes, I'll be going to Florida, I actually
why
withdrew
why
my.
why the University of Florida?
Why University of Florida are ahead of other universities is because I have an overview of what I'm going to do already, which strictly or perfectly align with my current research. The other schools I apply to they really did not provide enough information about what I might be doing. And also, I was unable to secure supervisors in those schools.
Okay. You mentioned that you have a GA from the school.
Yes.
Do you have any deficits that you need to cover?
No, no.
Okay. And how did you get the funding?
Uh, Firstly, I had interview with my advisor and the PhD coordinator of the college.
Okay.
So after the interview was actually tedious. So after the interview, they gave me kind of the assignment I talk about, which
Mhm.
was to test two things, my writing skill and my ability to deliver a work impromptu.
Have
I
you
have to do that.
traveled out of your home country before?
No,
I mean, this is not even important. It doesn't even matter because you have full funding, so this doesn't even matter. Okay. Do you have any relative in the US?
no, not at all.
No. Okay. So after your program, what do you intend to do with the degree?
After my program, I'll be returning back to my current polytechnic. One, while I'm away, my salary will still be continuing to be paid. So my coming back, I will have to work. I will sign a bond actually for my salary to continue while I'm studying. So the bond will enable me, or I will be bonded to work minimum of 4 years in that institution. So, but my plan is after the 4 years, I will either move to my alma mater or university, another university, which I have a letter saying once I'm done with my PhD or anytime I have my PhD, I can actually come back and resubmit my application.
Okay. I mean, you did the most important thing, which is getting the funding, because once you don't have any deficits, you don't have to prove your finances. So which means you have to, deal with the other two parts. And the other two parts in general, you did very well. The only thing one thing I want to say is the follow-up questions that I ask you, if you can just add them, to it. You mentioned that you have a GA, you are going to work in a lab, IDS lab, but you didn't tell me. Ideally, you should just tell me, what you are going to do in the lab, what the project is about. You have to. I asked you, and then you said them, which is actually a good thing. Sometimes you'll be given the opportunity to explain, and that is good. So yeah, you said there is a potential project based on the interview, so these are the things you have to spit them out unless you are interrupted, right? So that answer is good. Um then how did you hear about the program or the school? I didn't understand what you were saying. You said the school made an advertisement, and
Yes, there was
then
actually serious, massive, let me put it that way, massive advertisement regarding the uh,
yeah.
application for master's and PhD.
Mm,
I got to know about the school or about that application entry in particular
yeah.
through a friend, which forwarded the documents, the flyer actually, it was 39 pages. He forwarded it to me via WhatsApp, and that was how I actually know about the school and the program.
Yeah, so what I was going to say is you came across the adverts, yet you
Yes.
didn't say where exactly you saw the adverts, how you came, across the adverts and all of that. You mentioned flyer. Where was the flyer, right? Where did you see it?
Okay,
Right.
okay,
And
okay,
your
okay.
friend,
It
why
was
why did your friend give you that announcement, right? Maybe you could have just said, you started looking for schools and you told your friend about it. So he came across the school's advert or something, and then he shared it with you. You went and then you did your research. You reach out to a supervisor, that kind of thing. So that we know, okay, this is where everything started and how, that kind of thing. But aside that,
okay, okay.
I asked you about your current job. You said you are a lecturer, but you didn't tell me. You could have just said you are a lecturer at ABC University, and if there is time, you talk about what you do. The whole point about the interview is to shorten it, give every relevant detail so that you don't have to stay for long. Because if you are staying for long, the visa officer is thinking about different things, right? Okay, this, okay, what about, maybe they will spot something, maybe, and in your case, which comes to, let's go to the last thing. Okay, not the last, but one thing.
I'm not saying you. I mean, you did very well. Just that few little things that you have to make sure you are ready for them, right? When I asked you how many schools you applied to, you said you applied to six, and then you decided to mention them, yet you couldn't remember all of them. You did the application recently, so it's not been like a year or 2 years for you to forget about the schools. It's just six. It's not like 100 schools, right?
Yes.
So I just feel like I mean, some people will not even mention six. They will just go with three or something. I mean, so
Okay.
anyways, so the last question, I was confused when I asked you what do you plan to do with a degree. Um, you said you are going to be paid while you are away, and you are going to
Yes.
sign a bond with your current polytechnic.
Yes.
So everything was nice. It sounded good to me. Then you added that you're either going to the same polytechnic or you're going to a university. You've
No,
already
not the
signed a
same
bond with a
polytechnic.
polytechnic for
No.
years, so I was
Yes.
confused there.
No. Okay, not the same polytechnic. I mean, I said I will transition to either the university where I graduated from, or another university which I have a like open offer, which states anytime I have my PhD, I can come and resubmit my application.
Yes, but the problem is that you've already said that you have signed a bond with your
Yes.
current institution, so you have to go back to them, not anywhere else. Or
Okay,
unless
yes.
you've
What
not
I
signed
said,
any bond.
can you hear me?
Yeah,
Okay,
you
what I
said
said
you.
earlier was after completing my bond of 4 years.
Oh, after completing your bond, but
Yes, yes,
that
yes,
that
yes, yes, yes.
that doesn't. I mean, I don't know if so. The thing is, you have to be clear. If you want to use a bond, then stick to going back to your polytechnic and then taking up a senior lecturer role or something. That kind of thing.
Okay.
But to say you want to complete your bond and then go to somewhere else, it's like, where is your loyalty, right? In a way, if the visa officer is very big on values and loyalty and stuff, you'll be like, okay, you're not loyal to your university, right? And if you are saying, though, I interpreted it as two different things, so it's like, okay, are you really sure you are going to return? Like, where is your ties, right? Like, so be very clear about it. But I think, yeah, so far everything, once you are funding, it already proves almost two things, right? So it's like you're almost through the door. So yeah, the few things that I've said, just little things, if you add them, I think, yeah, you should be approved.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
so good luck to you. Do you have any question?
Yes, I have two questions.
Okay.
Like I said earlier, when I confirmed or yes, ascertained that yes, I will be attending the University of Florida, I actually went and withdrew the other application I have. Is it okay to talk about it or I should just ignore?
So the thing is that one of the mistakes that students make is that instead of talking about what is important to them, they add a lot of irrelevant details which can harm them, right? So you've not been asked what happened to those. I don't remember this officer asking why did you reject the other schools or something like. Why did you decline those? They'll be like, okay, why did you choose this over this? That is a typical question, and you answered. I think, if I remember correctly, I think you answered that correctly. So I don't know why you wanna say you rejected those offers. No, you have to focus on one is more suited to what you are interested in, aligns with your researching, more aligned with, or like you said, I think you said they gave you more information which were very clear
Yes.
to you, and you also had a supervisor. These are reasons why you choose one over the other ones, right? Whether you decline the offers or not, everybody knows that if you accept one, it means automatically you are declining the other ones, right? So that is not going to come up. That why did you decline those things? It's just more about why did you choose what you have over the other one. So then you find why that school is better than the other ones for you, like, right? It doesn't have to be highly ranked over the other ones, but more like why it is more suited to you. Does that make sense? So focus on the advantages of your current
Yes.
school, not trying to talk about why you uh, the fact that you decline the other ones. Then that is going to you know, cause the visa officer to ask more questions about those ones, right? So, but I think you have a very good chance, right? Very, very, very good chance, right?
Thank you very much.
People sometimes
Was
people
there
tell
a
me to give
question?
numbers. I think the last person I gave, I think Yemisi, right? I think Yemisi. I don't remember who in the comment section said I should give a number. I don't remember. I think I didn't want to give a number, but eventually I gave a um think I gave her 95% or so, right? And she was approved too. So it means yeah, and in your case too, yeah, I can actually say 95% because I think you'll be approved because you are very clear about why you want to pursue the program. Your funding has been taken care of. You don't have to prove anything about finances. So then you are fine. Then your ties, you're already a lecturer. So yeah, you want to come back, take up a senior lecturer role. You've already signed a bond with the school and stuff like that. So you are returning to maybe you're coming to teach something which is currently not being taught in the department, right? That kind of thing. So that is maybe why the school has even give you that, is like wants you to sign the bond or something. Yeah, that
Okay.
makes that makes a lot of sense, right? So good luck to you.
Thank you
Right.
very much. Then,
People
sorry, I
like you,
have
right?
one.
If people like you, right? If you go and then you're not approved, when you come home, we have to lash you because everything is in your favor. Like it's just you going there and then be yourself. Don't think about everything. Don't think about things too much. Just go tell your story like the way you've told me, and yeah, I think you should be approved. Okay.
Yes. Actually, initially, I did not really want to plan for any mock interview because my belief
Yeah.
was if they won't be asking me anything outside my case, I should be able to answer it freely.
Yeah.
But my friends around insist on I must
Uh,
attend the mock session.
yeah. I mean, mock sessions are always good, even if your story is good, because you don't want to get to the interview and then um forget something because the brain always wants to be prepared for something. If you've not done something before, first time you might struggle, right? You might not be able to articulate yourself very well. But when you do the mock session, yeah, even if you're able to articulate yourself very well, the brain is now used to that experience before. So then when you go, you can be yourself more, right? So mock sessions, no matter who you are, in my opinion, mock sessions are always important. It gives you, it kind of makes you gauge where you are in terms of your preparation, right? So, but yeah, good luck to you.
Thank you. Sorry, I have another question for clarification.
Okay,
Actually, I have a research company
you have
which
a
I
research
bought.
company.
Yes, which is
Yeah,
my
so that can
research.
be your long-term plan.
Yes. But in my DS-160, there is no way was able I can input the details of the research company.
Yeah, you don't need that to be approved, but if it comes up, you can talk about that as well as your long-term plan, but you don't need to have that. The most important thing is your current job, which is the fact that you're a lecturer. So that's
Okay,
all that
okay.
matters. Okay.
Thank you
So
very much.
yeah, sure. Good luck.
Thank you.
All right, so let's get into the comment section. Looks like there are a lot of comments here. Let me see if I can show the comments on the on the on the stream. Okay, so hi Mary, and then MJC. Okay, MJC. I saw MJC during the live session yesterday, right? Yeah. Okay, big up to you as well. Leslie Asija, Starboy. Hi, Fixes. Hi, Alfred from Nigeria, and then yeah, Kra Joseph. Very familiar with him. Fixes from Ethiopia. Okay, that's good. Gloria says, "Hello, Shai. Please, how can I be added to your WhatsApp group?" There are a lot of admins, so check the description of probably this video or any of my other videos. Once there is one link that will lead you to all the links, and then once you follow the WhatsApp link, you'll be added. Okay, there are a lot of people who will be able to add you. Mary says, please, how long does it take for you to get your I-20? Every school is different, right? All you have to do is send the documents the school is requesting for, and it can be a week, or more or less. It depends, right? Set from Kumasi, Starboy from Kenya, Asifua from Ghana. Thing is not showing again. I'm trying to show, but the thing is not showing again. So what's going on? It's I'm doing good. How about you? Yeah, I'm trying to show, but I don't know if you guys see it, but I'm showing it, but it's not showing on my screen. I'm not seeing it. Awate from Ghana. King says, good day. Take you for okay, for what you're doing for history. Okay, you're welcome. Latifa, The Telegram group, yeah, is there's one link in the description of my video. So that once you, the reason why I don't put those links in the description is that, let's say after 1 year somebody wants to join the group, maybe that group is full, right? So once I put one link which connects you to the WhatsApp group, all I have to do is to change that one link, and then once I change that link, it will reflect the current group that is open, right? That is the whole point. So Hammer to, yeah, the link is in the, check the description. You see one link which will lead you to all the links, right? Highline, hi. Leslie says, if I have a deficit of 14K and I'll be taking care of that by myself, can I answer self to the question, who'll be sponsoring your trip? Yeah, if you have a deficit of 14K and then you'll be taking care of it, yeah, you should go with the self. Um, the you know the trip thing, right? If you think about it, if you are B1, B2, the trip is your flight and then your expenses while you are in the US. But if you are F1, who is covering your trip is actually who is covering your deficits. That is the meaning. Who is covering your trip is who is covering your deficits. If you don't have any deficits, then you can go with self. Some say you have to go with the school, but I don't. I have never gone with the school. I always go with self. And yes, and I've the two times that I went for the interview, I was approved, right? So I don't see why I should go with okay, well, actually, the second one, I had a full tissue, so I had a deficit, but that didn't even come up, right? But the first one, I have, everything covered, so I went with self. So yeah, I mean, and I've coached so many people, they go with self. So who is covering the deficit? If um, so Leslie, you have to make sure you like, the fact that you are covering yourself. You have a lot of money. I don't like to recommend. I don't like to go with self, even if I'm covering the deficit. Um, you can go with self and then add somebody else. I always want to add somebody else. You don't have to go for the interview with the person's statement. You can go with your statement, but then just say that that person is, in case of other expenses that may come up. That's just what I think, right? So that it's like, okay, because when you come in here, let's say the money in your account is 14K. What happens after 1 year? Who is going to take care of that, right? So when you have somebody as a backup, then that helps. Mission from Nigeria. Kim says, Shai, you told us to talk about how to secure funding in August. Please, do you have a video on that? Yeah, I have a video on the funding thing, right? The whole options that student can explore, getting funding outside the department. I have full video on the channel. You can check that out. And I also did a live session yesterday. That live session, I'm going to repurpose it in a way and try to post it on YouTube. So I'll take part of it and post it maybe, I don't know, very soon, right? So you can check some of the live session things I said during the live session. Okay. Will you advise one keep sending email to program director after receiving no funding from a school? The email, if you send it too many times, it becomes annoying. So yeah, you can send one, wait for maybe 2 weeks, and then the next one, if you don't get anything, then you have to wait 1 month and send the last one maybe. But don't send again, because if you are not getting reply, then that is not helpful, right? But if you are getting reply and then they are telling you, or they're giving it out or something, then you can check on them again later on, right? Yeah. So yeah, if it doesn't work out, just know this is life. Everybody's time is different, so you have to push again, right? Let's say if I'm answering a question from you, instead of mentioning the full name of the university, can I name the can I say University of Massachusetts? Instead of University of Massachusetts, can I say UMass? There are certain things in life which are based on somebody's preferences, right? It depends. Maybe the resource that is okay with it. The thing is that the name is on the I-20, but they kind of want you to say it to show that, okay, you actually are aware of where you are going. They see your deficit, all this they see, but they will still ask you, right? So you should probably mention the full name, right? Just to be on the safer side. And it says, hello, Sha, I'm going to see a video on your YouTube channel interviewing a student going for a master's in international affairs. I've done, this is the 46th mock session, right? So I don't know if there is anything like that, but if there is nothing like that, then I cannot do anything. I cannot bring somebody by force, go and study international relations, right? International affairs. You have to, if you are going to study international affairs and then you are selected, then you can be the first person, right? It's okay to be the first, right? Daniel is watching from Kenya. He said I should talk about preparation for college students, associate degree, master's, PhD. They are all the same preparations, right? So I don't know what you mean. Sarah from Kenya. Irom says, hello, should I choose to learn course of 77K and scholarship of 30K, or Columbia University with cost of attendance of 80 and 13 scholarship? Which one is best for visa approval? For me, when I see huge deficits like that, there is I cannot tell you to go with either of them. Nah, none of them. I don't have that money, so I will not give you an advice, right? Please. Micah says, Shai, please, is it possible to get funding in spring semester? I heard most people don't get funding for spring. Most people don't get funding for spring, but it is possible. This spring, there are a few people that I know. I know a Nigerian. What's her name? She went to University of is it Southern Mississippi, I think, to do economic development also. She got funding in spring. Yeah, you can get funding in spring, but it's not recommended, right? I don't recommend that. Aram says, hello, Shai, should I choose? Okay, I think Aram, don't send it twice. If you send it once, yeah, it's okay. It means I'll see it. Okay. If I don't see it, it means that it is what it is, right? Mission says on I-20, the program is MS in engineering general. An offer letter, on offer letter, it is engineering general management. What should I choose? If you want, you can just go with the one on the I-20, and that will be, that will be safe, right? If you want. In the past, it was, I went with economics, even though on the I-20 it was applied quantitative econometrics or something, but I always went with economics. And yeah, you can always you can go with whichever one. It depends on how you say it, but if you want to be on the safer side, you can just go with the one on the I-20. Okay. Emmanuel says, Shai, is it possible for a school to defer or waive enrollment deposit fees? Enrollment deposit fees are difficult to waive because it is more like showing your commitment to attend the school. So yeah, I never had to deal with enrollment deposit because I never applied to a school that required that, right? So MJC says, okay, MJC says, the session is smooth. Yeah, that's good. I changed the software. Then it says I got admission to Michigan State. Cost of attendance is 62, scholarship is 3,000. You plan to go for Empower. Okay, good luck to you. I cannot give you advice when it comes to Empower, whether it's good or not. You decide. If you want to know my opinion on Empower, I've said it so many times. If you have followed me for a while, you know my opinion on Empower. Sally says, I've applied for F-1 visa, you got a confirmation page, but still checking for an interview date. After getting interview dates, you contact me for mock. Well, you can contact me, but it's not automatic that you'll be selected, right? I select 2 people. And yeah, if you are selected, then yeah, sure, I'm going to interview you, right? Okay, so you're from Sierra Leone. That's good. Larry says, did you go to Miami University? You mean if you are referring to me, then the answer is no. Alfred said, I went to Ohio University and then Northern Illinois University. Alfred says, I have a deficit of 50,000, I have personal savings of 10K, and you have Empower to support. Do I have a chance? I have no idea. Like when it comes to Empower stuff, I don't want to talk about them because I don't recommend it. If I were in your shoes, I will not take Empower. So then it's like, what advice can I give you, right? MJC says that's very thoughtful initiative. Yeah, the WhatsApp thing, yeah, because it will get full. It's not like forever, right? So then it's better to just have a dynamic place where I can put it there and you guys can, yeah. Highline says, please shall I advise when the company is sponsoring you on the declaration of finance form, should I write the company name or the owner's name? So on the bank statement or whatever you are submitting from the company, which name is on it? It's likely to be the company name, right? So you can put a company name on it. Set says, what should one do if their request for I-20 had been approved yet wants to update it? Reach out to the international office that you want the I-20 to be updated. Some schools will do it, some schools will not update it. Okay. Physics say, hello, Shai. I got admission for a fully funded PhD program. Yeah, congrats. That's good. I did my MS abroad and didn't collect my degree certificate yet. Actually, I don't need MS for my PhD admission. What will I say if asked? If they ask you, yeah, you can say you got you can say you have that masters, right? You have that masters, but then and then they will ask you if you say you have that masters already, right? You can state in the DS for you. They ask you, you can say it wasn't required for the admission and funding into the PhD program. That's why you don't have it with you at the interview, and that should be fine. I think they are not even going to ask you. They are not likely to ask you about that. What matters is your admission letter, your funding letter, sometimes your I-20, those things, right? But if I'll give you an advice, please try and then get a certificate, because you will need it at some point in future. So get it now, because you never know. Okay, so please do everything to get it. And ideally, if you even go for the interview with it, it's better, because the interview sometimes things can go sideways and you have to be prepared for it, right? Ike says, is it good to have a specific travel plan when you are being sponsored by a family business? Yeah, of course. If you are being sponsored by a family business, you are coming back to the family business to work in the family business. That is what is going to get your visa approved. And you have to be very clear about the role in the company that you are coming to work. And ideally, you should work in the company now, right? So unless you are an undergraduate student, you are coming to do undergraduate, then yeah, that might not be a big deal. But ideally, yes, you have to. Nana says, can I go to the interview with a company's bank statement? Yes, if they give it to you, why not, right? Augusta says, what should you say about a loan amount of 20,000? Yeah, 20,000. Yeah, you can go ahead and take it. I don't know. You can take it. It's not like big like that, right? I just don't like loans. It's like, yeah, if I should go back, I don't like saying if I should go back, but then if I should go back, right, I would not have any credit card debt, right? Not at all. Not even, I will not, as soon as I spend, I'll pay it, and it's also, if I was spending on myself, I wouldn't even have anything to do with credit card issues. But then I was spending on people and that kind of thing. So then, yeah. So anything loan, I want to stay away from it, especially given that loan is not your only option. You can get funding. So if you have to take 1 year to get funding, why not get a funding, right? But 20,000 is not strange like that, right? Maybe you can go ahead and then you decide. Nana says, can I go to the interview with a company? Okay, as an undergrad, yeah, you can go with the company bank statement, but then you should be clear about coming back to the company to work. And it should be, if it's not your father's company, then that is, it can be difficult. It depends, right? Every story, it depends on how you tell it. MJC says, not getting a reply is also a reply. Exactly. When you think about it, right? I've told you guys so many times, if you send something to somebody twice, whether to a school, whether to your girlfriend, whether to whoever, if you send it 2 times, the person doesn't reply, don't send it again. The person has seen it. They don't want to reply. The first one, maybe the person, something came up and the person skipped it. The person forgot about it. If you send a second one, the person doesn't reply, it's okay. Forget about it. People know what they are doing. That's what I can do. This is cruel. Like, this is more like the side of human nature that people don't want to talk about, but this is the reality based on my own life. I will never be able to say this 2 years ago or 3 years ago, or but everything I had to understand that this is how it is. It's not good, but this is how it is, right? And we have to know this is how it is and accept it. Okay. Matthew says, and if I had full funding and I select self for entity paying for the trip on the DX1C form, will I have to show proof? No, if you have full funding, you don't have any deficit. When you go for the interview, you don't have to show any proof. When they ask you who is sponsoring your studies, you say you have a full scholarship that takes care of all your tuition and living expenses. That's all. Then you can, if the visa officer doesn't cut in, you can talk about how you got a scholarship, or the visa officer might cut in and then say, okay, how did you get a scholarship? Then you can go ahead and tell the visa officer how you got it, right? Okay. Kim says, I was asking how you secure funding in August. You told us you would tell us your story. Oh, okay. Do you have a video now? Okay, no, I've not told that story yet. It's a story for another day. Sometimes you have to wait for the right moment to talk about certain things. But what I was trying to tell you guys is that if you have not received funding now, you can still get funding. You can still hold on to hope. Hope is something nobody can take from you, right? You can still hope. So you can hope until it is over. And I gave the example of Regina. She got her funding, I think, on July 8th, and we are not in July yet. She was rejected and then she got it later on. So you can, still get funded. Mine was in August. You cannot use mine because I was already in the US, so it's kind of different. But then I can also tell you about my friend John. John in 2017 or 2018, he went for the interview in August. He was denied. Then he had applied for a Rotary scholarship, so he got that. And then I shipped the I-20 to him within a week. He got it. He went for the interview, and then he was approved, right? Which was in August. So yeah, so that can also, and even you guys in your case right now, it is different. Right now, the I-20, you can easily they will just email it to you, so you don't even have to wait for it from here, right? So that is even quicker. So anything can happen. You just have to hope. Okay, Leslie, you're welcome. Bruce, have you ever interviewed anyone going to pursue masters in aerospace engineering? I don't remember, right? But what, regardless of the program, it's still the same thing. It's still the same thing, right? The same thing. So Sue says, Shai, how do you find accommodation on campus? I gained admission to University of West Florida. So I've told you guys so many times, please be on LinkedIn. LinkedIn is a place that you can connect with a lot of people. I've told you so many times. Once you're on LinkedIn, I told you yesterday about the fact that, if you buy a car, not just, I use red car as an example, but then if you buy, let's say Toyota, right? As soon as you buy Toyota car, like as soon as you start driving your Toyota car, you begin to see a lot of Toyota cars. You're like, why am I seeing a lot of Toyota cars? It's your brain. Your brain is now focusing on what is important to you, which is the Toyota cars, because you have one. So when you go on LinkedIn, LinkedIn will connect you with so many other people gradually. Then, when you get admission like that and you are connected with somebody in the school, you can reach out to the person. The person can help you out. You can reach out to your department. They might be able to connect you with somebody. You can reach out to the international office. They might be able to connect you. So those are some of the options that you can explore. Okay. And you can also find accommodation online, but the online one is difficult because most of the time you have to make a deposit. Who is going to pay the deposit for you when you're outside the country? So you need somebody. That's why you have to try and connect with somebody, right? Okay. And there are some churches, what is their name? I don't remember. Network of Nations and all those groups, right? Most campuses they can actually shelter you for a while until you get your own place, maybe 2 weeks or something. So you can reach out to those organizations as well. Okay. Bishi says, thank you for answering my questions. God bless you. I'm in the BC from Nigeria. Okay. In the BC, I think I know you, right? I know you very well. Okino says, I'm the second person you are supposed to interview. Been waiting for you to accept the call. No, Okino, you know, there are situations where I'm very principled, right? I told you to join 10 minutes before time. That's what I tell students. You didn't join, and we started a stream before you probably tried to join. And yeah, when I start like that, because for me, my interpretation is that it reflects how important this is to you. If you think about it, if something is so important to you, yes. Have you seen me missing live session or something, or without prior notice or something? No, I'm always here because it is important to me, right? So if I'm going to interview you, and this is important to you, you have to set your calendar. You have to put it there, right? So that if you are forgetful, put it there, you will remember, and then join on time. If you cannot join because things happen in life, right, you have to let me know that, okay, for ABC reasons, I won't be able to join on time. Then, okay, I can say, okay, join 20 minutes after, because by 20 minutes after, then I can. But if you don't do that, that doesn't show respect, that doesn't show seriousness. So I'll tell you as it is. This is what I why I tested and they don't like it. But I'll tell you. No, I'll tell you, because yes, this is, yeah. Um, Mukama says, hi Shai. And the thing is that, you you get so many students sending requests, and then you select some people, and then it's like Those you don't select, they are those you select. Some of them they don't want to show up, and it's like, okay, why did I even select you? And the way the student will come to you and they'll make you look like, oh, you really have to select me and all. No, you know. Mukama says, "Hi Shai, when do schools make scholarship decisions, specifically those that first admit and make scholarship decisions later? For instance, department G, I guess you mean GAs. So every school is different. GAs can be advertised from January. Decisions can be made in January. Decisions can be made in July. Decisions can be made in August, like early August and all of that. So it can be made anytime. It depends on school program. Even in the same school, departments will make decisions at different times. So there is no one way of one answer. It's a range. Kayla says, hello Shai, I got admission to pursue masters in geographic information systems, information science, and I have Empower Loan and my family sponsorship. Please, what should I say if I'm asked how I'm going to pay the loan? I had I had two videos on loan, how to answer loan questions. I deleted them because I just don't want to be any, play any role in loan. So unfortunately, Kayla, I cannot give an advice. I think other creators have made videos on loan. You can check those videos out. But for me, yeah. Adi Fila says, how do I convincingly answer the question as regards my sponsor if he's in domiciled in the US? Well, it depends on how the person came to the US and all those things, right? What is the person going to gain from your from the degree, right? Because ideally, if somebody is sponsoring you, the person has to gain something. Maybe the person has a business in the country and stuff like that, which are going back to work in the company. And when it comes to things like this, if you are concerned, get funded. You can get funded. Okay. So my advice is get funded so that you save yourself from that kind of thing. Franklin says, I shall have a deficit of 15K. GA position covers tuition and a monthly stipend on a 10-hour per week. Can I say to the viewer that if I that I'll pay the rest of the deficit by campus job? Forget about campus. Don't mention campus job. No, you cannot talk about campus job at the interview. Focus on your cousin and your cousin thing too. Sometimes it depends on what a cousin does and all those things, right? It depends. It's not easy when you are using um a distance relative, right? So the campus job is 10 hours. 10 hours, you are not going to get anything. Ask people in the school, they will tell you 10 hours will not give you anything. Raymond, okay, Raymond, nice. Raymond, it's been a while. I think I mentioned your name last week or so that I haven't seen you. You and Karen. And Sarah says, I got asked who is sponsoring me. I said the entity's name instead of the person's name as of my DX1C and got denied. How can I answer this? So if you say you are being sponsored by a company, then you have to mention the company's name. If you say you are being sponsored by a person, then you have to mention the person's name. Maybe the person has a company, then you can talk about what the person does, right? So it depends on how you answer the question. So I cannot really say what happened, right, or what exactly he said. It's difficult to say, right? Augusta says, after I applied for MBA program and was denied, the school reached out to me weeks after asking me to apply for MS program if I was interested. Okay, MBA and then you were denied. What can you say about this with regards to funding? So you have to ask the school that you have to ask the school whether they are going to give you funding if you apply. That's the first thing. If they say there is funding, then you can look at other things, the requirements and all those things, and can go ahead and apply. Okay. So yeah, you have to find out about the funding. That is very, very important. Cry Joseph says, hi Shai, I really enjoyed your last two interviews on the ShaiPod. That is with Bianca Success and then Joseph. Okay, Joseph. Okay, that Joseph interviewed me and then I interviewed Bianca. Okay, I really, really enjoyed it. Okay, thank you. Yeah, nice. Yeah, when I get feedbacks like this, yeah, I kind of feel good. It means I'm doing something right. Right. So yeah, we have to keep interviewing more people and getting different perspectives, right? So I believe I've answered all the questions, and if I wasn't able to answer some questions, I don't see them. YouTube kind of covers them up. I just don't know why. Um, yeah, I have no idea why it's like that. Okay. So one last question, and then yeah, I'm done. Abdullah Said says, my cousin is my sponsor and lives in the US, lives in the States. Should I take yes when I get to the part of the part on the DX1C from where it says if you have any relative in the US? Why would you say no when you have a cousin, a cousin in the US, right? Yeah, it depends. The question is, they will ask you distant relative. Distant relative means somebody like your parent or your spouse, and then they can also ask you sorry, close relative, then that one. Or they can ask you distant relative. Distant relative, your cousin will fall under your distant relative. So when they ask you that part, then you can say your cousin, because at the end of the day they are sponsoring you, right? And you have to be very careful with a cousin in the US sponsoring you. It kind of reduces your chance of being approved. It's very difficult, if I'll be honest with you. So guys, thank you so much. I really appreciate your time. And I hope we get to meet again next week. I believe okay. So as usual, this Tuesday and Thursday there will be a video, a visa interview video, where I kind of take somebody's transcripts, kind of break it down, and then see what is going on, so that you can kind of look at your own story and try to see if you have a good chance or not. That's the whole point, right? So you can look out for those videos on Tuesday and then Thursday. And then on Wednesday, I'm going to post an interview, on the ShaiPod. So look out for that one as well. So I think that's all I have for you this week. And then and then we are going to meet again next Sunday. So either I or my assistant is going to post something in the Telegram page requesting for the details. So when the details come in, first 5 people, then we stop. So we'll see how that goes. So good luck to you guys, and those of you who have interviews this week, I hope you guys, are approved, so that you come and enjoy the US, because everybody deserves it, right? So bye.
Thank you very much.
Oh yeah, you are still here. Oh, okay, nice. Yeah, welcome. Okay, good luck to you. I think you have a very, very good chance. Okay, so go and get your visa approved. If you have something to add, feel free to leave it in the comment section. If this video has been helpful to you, please let me know in the comment section. Share the video with your friends so that they can also get value from